What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Moffit Show. So last week I uploaded a video for beginners on how to get started throwing tomahawks. It's a brief video, but I've had a couple of people ask me to do another one in more detail. So that's what this one is. This is part 2. So if you haven't seen my first one, you may want to go back and watch that, and then come back and watch this one. I'm going to go over the same stuff, but I'm going to add a little bit more detail to it. All right, so let's start with the tomahawks. So if you're just getting started, I recommend starting with these because they've got 3 heads, and it makes it a lot easier when you have 3 heads coming around into that target, so you don't have to be 100% accurate. But it's important to be able to get them to stick consistently. And I don't care how they're sticking. If they're sticking straight in, handle pointing down, 45 up, handle pointing up, as long as they're sticking so that you can get a reading. And I'm going to explain what I mean by reading. So let me throw 3 in the target, then we're going to go up and analyze at what angle they're stuck in, and I'm going to explain the rest of the story to you. All right, that's actually a perfect example. That's what I was hoping for. So let's walk up here and take a look at the target. All right, let's start with this one. So that handle is sort of pointing up. It's not straight up and down. It's at what I call a reverse 45. And that means I have under-rotated. So I need to move up. If you move up, you're going to end up either straight in or, in a perfect world, a 45 facing down. This is what we're looking for. Straight in is great. I can step back 2 or 3 inches to achieve that perfect 45 pointing downward. Now, when the handle is pointing straight down, that means I'm too close. Step back a foot, and then you should end up about like that. Now, we're throwing from 12 feet. That's the regulation distance for competition, tomahawks, hatchets, if you want to call them hatchets, and throwing knives. 12 feet. And I've got this little marker here that shows me where I need to stand. I've got one on each side of my target. So I always check where I'm standing and make sure I'm close to that range. For learning, let's not worry too much about distance, but that's your starting point, 12 feet. If you need to step into 11 to get the feel for the flip, then do that. And eventually you can learn how to slow the flip down and go back to throwing from 12 feet. So again, that's what I recommend for you new guys. Go on Amazon, get you a set of these Ned Foss tomahawks. I think they're about $50. Start with that. When you get pretty proficient with this, move on to a regulation tomahawk. Now, they're heavier and they flip different, but meanwhile, you'll have mastered the beginning fundamentals.